You are going to be so happy you dropped into this episode of Media Champions. Welcome, my friends. I'm Mary Therese Griffin, your host in Atlanta. Today we have Renee Miller from the Miller Group out of Los Angeles with us today. Renee, it's so nice to finally meet you. Thank you for saying yes to being on Media Champions.
My pleasure, Mary Therese. It's nice to meet you as well.
Thank you for what you do. And I, first of all, let me just put this out there in the universe. Your website is awesome sauce. Wow. It's so cool. And one of the things that I noticed when I was studying up to interview you is that you guys offer the solution that people never saw coming. Wow. That makes me just want to go, please sign me up right now. Sign me up. Can we talk about what you do, why you do it, and the passion that you have for it?
Thanks. That's a great question. Been doing it since 1990. We work with a lot of nonprofits. We work with a lot of companies that are involved in sustainability. And our real focus is on getting them to share with us what their challenges are and then working backwards toward what their objectives are. We do a lot of research and we do a lot of fact finding, and we come back with a strategic approach that's a creative approach, strategically driven.
Oh, I love that. And you gotta, you have to have, people think, oh, I have to have a plan. Well, of course you have to have a plan. But when you talk about strategic communication, there are so many different levels of that. And they all fit right in with each other, right? Because if you do this, you're going to get this. And if you do this, you're going to get this. Can you share with us perhaps an aha moment with somebody that you've been working with when they finally take your sage advice and they go, man, that Renee sure knows what she's talking about because it worked?
I'll give you a really easy one. That way back when we were working with a company called Wolf Range, and they make high-end uh, ranges, cooktops, stoves, ovens, and they were primarily a commercial cookware company and had a hard time getting into residential. But what we learned from our research was that consumers want to cook like a chef. And so we focused that brand. The single minded messaging is if you buy a Wolf Range, even though they're more expensive than everybody else, the promise is you'll cook like a professional chef. And it worked, and their sales went from 5 million a year all the way up to more than 100 million, and they were eventually acquired by Sub-Zero, and the rest is
Wow.
history.
Yeah. So, let's talk about making that connection to the consumer brain because, if you think it, right, that's a little boost of confidence there. I My mom used to get on to me all the time about speeding in my little Nissan Sentra, and I said, Mom, if you drive your car like a Ferrari, it is a Ferrari. She didn't want to hear that. But my point to all of this is making that connect with the right audience. And I know that you guys know how to do this. Walk me through a conversation with a client and trying to convince them that great idea, but we really got to find out not only who your right audience is, but your loyal audience.
That's a great question. And so a lot of clients will come to us and say things like, "We need a new website," and we'll ask, "Well, what do you really? Why do you think you need a new website?" When in fact, it's really, like you said, an issue of connecting with the consumer. So a lot of times, a client doesn't really know what the consumer's thinking, and we'll get them into. During COVID, we were doing a lot of virtual research online. We did a lot of qualitative, a lot of quantitative. And when the client hears what the consumer really wants, it makes the biggest difference because we could share with the client our thoughts. Client can share their thoughts, but really it's hearing what the consumer wants, what the consumer feels, and how the consumer will act. They may tell you how they're going to act, but really seeing them in action is proof of how they actually will act. So they may say one thing and they may do something different.
Now, that's that whole truth to seeing is believing, right? You see it, you believe it, there you go. End of story. We're almost out of time, but I want to ask you this, Renee. I know you've been doing this a long time and you've dealt with a lot of companies, big and small. When somebody has that internal media or marketing department, which is great, it's still a really good idea for them to partner with a company like yours? Why?
We bring a fresh perspective, an outside point of view. A lot of times internally, there are a lot of politics, and many layers. CEOs don't always listen as carefully as they should to their staff, and some of those people are incredibly bright. So we're able to bridge the gap between the C-suite and the marketing suite, and listen to the issues that the C-suite has, and listen to the issues the marketing team has, and then bridge together and bring an outside, as I mentioned, outside fresh perspective to the party.
That those outside set of eyes and ears always they bring the money home. Thank you so much, Renee. Really appreciate you taking time. Do come back and visit anytime you like. Love what you do.
Mary Treese, thank you. It's been lovely meeting with you and speaking with you.
You as
Bye
well.
bye.
And so many of you out there, you're going to want to connect with Renee. And guess what? I know how to reach her. We can help you do that. You can find Renee by finding us right here at dailyadbrief.com. I'm Mary Therese Griffin in Atlanta. See you next time for more Media Champions.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.